we already learned about burns. Mm, but burns is always a critical situation because the child is always conscious, and based on depending on the percentage of total body surface area, it can be classified. And what is the definition? A burn is an injury to the skin tissue, usually caused by contact with intense heat, electricity, or chemicals. As we know, children are always born for accidents. They are very much curious about things, trying to pull out and push the things, and trying to hold on the heat, warm objects, or boiled water. Maybe accidental. Some of the burns are because of accidental causes. Some intentionally happens, like chemical use of chemicals like that. Okay. Then use of crackers. So the definition is a burn is an injury to the skin tissue, usually caused by contact with intense heat, electricity, or chemicals. And the burn injuries occur when energy from a heat source is transferred to the tissues of the body. Burn injuries occur when energy from a heat source is transferred to the tissues of our body. Depth of the injury is related to the temperature and the duration of exposure or contact. How much is exposed, or how much the duration of exposure occurs, and that depends on the depth of the injury. So next, just move on to the anatomy. You already learned about the layers of skin, that is epidermis, dermis, and hypodermis, and the function of skin, that is regulation of the body temperature, protection, stimuli reception. We can feel the touch, smell, like that. Excretion and synthesis of vitamin D is also the one of the function of our skin. Right, these are the functions of skin. Then how it happens, how this what burns happen, incidents for this burns for children. Burns are the third leading cause of accidental death among children. It can cause death because of the dehydration or affecting many other systems. Not only our skin, it can affect our many organic vital organs, right? Scald injuries represent 40 to 50% of all burns, with the highest incidence in toddlers. As we know, toddlers are very hyperactive group. So the incidence rate is very common. That is 40 to 50% for toddlers, and that is scald injury. Scald injury is commonly caused by hot liquids or hot gases. It is scald injuries. And 16% of all burn injuries are non-accidental, and 50% of these are as a result of abuse. And we heard about the abuse from the parents or stepfather, stepmother, like that, or relatives. Because of the family conflict, they can abuse the children. These are also common in our society. In the adolescents, due to experimentation, adolescents are very much experimenting mind. They are trying to with the chemicals, acids, like that, with matches and inflammable liquids. So adolescent rate is due to experimentation. So these are the incidents mainly for toddlers. This is very common. 40 to 50% of cases occurs due to scald injuries, and for other adolescents it is because of any experiments, and for other children it is because of any abuse from the family members or others. 16% of all burn injuries are non-accidental. That is according to intention. Yes. Okay. Next, we can move on to the contact with the scalding liquid is leading cause of burn injury. Scalding liquids or gases. Among children in the school age, a burn that is 10% of the total body surface area can be life-threatening if not treated correctly. We are always classifying the burns according to the body surface area. We heard about this palm of 9, right, rule of 9, palm, okay, palm method, okay. So next, moving on to what are the causes. Other causes, mainly because of any contact with the thermal agents, electrical burns, scald due to hot liquids or steam or gases, and because of any chemical burns. These are the major causes behind these burns. Next, characteristics of burn injury. According to the characteristics, we are mainly classified according to the type of injury, extent of injury, depth of injury, and severity of injury. Burns, we are classified based on the type of injury, how it happens, extent of injury, how much, and depth, how much it affects the body, the intensity, and the severity of injury. These are the major classification for burn injury. So based on the type of injury, it is divided the cause. What are the cause? That is type of injury. Because of any thermal burns can be caused by flame, scald or contact with a hot object, and chemical burns, that is tissue contact with the strong alkali or acids, and because of any electrical burns, that is caused by intense heat from an electrical current, and because of smoke and inhalation injury, that is inhaling hot air or noxious chemicals. So this is based on the types of injury: thermal burns, chemical burns, electrical burns, smoke and inhalation injury. Coming to the second classification, that is according to extent of injury, which expresses as a percentage of the total body surface area estimated by age-related charts. Extent of injury is always depends on the total body surface area as well as according to age group. It can be varied according to the age. It is differ for a newborn or an infant with the, when compared with the adolescent age group. Right. We can deal in detail regarding that. That is total body surface area. How to classify? Mainly we learned about this rule of hand or rule of palm. One hand surface, that is child's own hand, not the examiner's hand. Always think that. Always we are considering the child's hand with the closed fingers amounts to 1% of the body surface area. The child's own hands with the closed fingers amounts, that is count for 1% of the total body surface area. Depends on that we are counting the total body surface area, right? It is rule of hand or rule of palm. Next one, rule of 9, rule of 5, London Browder chart, total body surface area of burn according to the age. Okay, we can just list down or mention about these all things. We already learned, you already learned, I know. So this rule of 9 chart for an adult and for a child. You can just draw it down. For an infant, it is very infant rule of 9 chart. Then the rule of 5. It is depending on the head and neck, hands, anterior trunk, posterior trunk and legs. It again different in for infant and for a child. This is the total percentage of total body surface area burn. London Browder formula. Then total body surface area of burn according to the age. For a newborn, for a 3-year-old child, 6-year-old child and 12-year-old child, it again differ. Then the classification of burn injury. Next, moving on to the classification of burn injury. Burn injury is classified according to depth of burns and severity of burns. According to the depth of burns and severity of burns. According to burn depth, we can divide into what are the divisions like superficial thickness, first degree.